Right, here we are. This is the beginning of Convergence, as at the beginning of every race. Smiling faces, looking pretty happy. Interesting one this, you get to start from wherever you want, but the finish point is Hope in Derbyshire. We've chosen to start just outside of Horton, which puts us just over 90 miles as the crow flies, which would qualify us for a black medal. I keep saying us because unlike other events, this is a team event. And the bloody motorbikes go fast. So it's not just me, it's Team Graham. Team Graham, so this is my support team meeting me every 10k to make sure I've got fuel and water. We've been looking at this map to see where we are, so possibly hard to see on there, but we are just down here. Quite a few people starting just outside that black line, going for the black medal. So I think it's just going to be a war of attrition now. Okay, the guys have got Radio 4 on in the truck. They're going to give me a wave when we are exactly on 12 o'clock. I'm doing a cheeky little run up the road here just to get a little sneak ahead and to see if I can't add a few extra meters, because there's some other competitors pretty close to where I'm starting in terms of distance. Right, that's it, we're off. Okay, we're only 2 miles in, but yeah, I feel good. Always nervous before you start. You haven't trained for the best part of a week and you wonder if you can remember how to run. But almost perfect conditions really. It's pleasantly mild. It's overcast, so not too hot. The forecast is for minimal rain, so maybe a bit of drizzle, which won't be unpleasant. But yeah, this is it. We're underway. Look at this. The town with no name. Here we are, coming up on checkpoint 1. Here we are, friendly faces. Hey, how are we doing? Brilliant to find this place. Right, we are coming up to, in fact we've just gone past 10.5 miles, so by my reckoning that puts us 10% of the way there. In order to finish within 24 hours I've got to do an overall average pace of a 13-minute 45-second mile. So far we're doing an average pace of 10 minutes and 4 seconds per mile. Feels pretty easy, pretty steady. Don't feel like I'm pushing particularly hard, so it's good to get some time in the bank because I know it's going to get tougher later. And if I don't put some in now, it'll be hard to claw it back. But I'm currently 38 minutes ahead of schedule, so yeah, it means I can take it easy at some of the checkpoints and take time to sort of walk things off as well, so I'm not constantly running at the same pace. Yeah, pleased so far, the weather's good. Go on, we just keep at it. Yeah. Those of you like Where's Wally, I have found Wally. Wally is over there in that field. Stripy top, but hiding himself with a blonde wig. Here we are. Yeah. There they are. Checkpoint 2. Hey! Right, about 15 miles in, 15.25 miles in. Hamstrings start to feel a little bit tight. So, probably going to back up the pace a little bit and not spend long at the next checkpoint. So try and slow the moving pace down and compensate for that by not stopping at the next checkpoint. Just be a smash and grab for some Lucozade and a gel or two. One terrible moment then, I thought I'd run as far as Gisborough, which would have been quite impressive, but completely off route. Right, feeling a bit cheerier now. Didn't dawdle at the last checkpoint. I'm now 20 miles, just over actually, 20 miles in, so that puts me a fifth of the way there. Still feeling pretty cheery, but body's starting to sort of settle into the groove now of hopefully how it's going to feel for the rest of it. Made some good headway, at least an hour ahead of sort of minimum schedule that I'd set myself. The sun is out, which is sort of good for your morale, and it's nice to feel the sun on you, but conscious of heat and fluids and so on. So but yeah, pleased with it so far. 1/5 of the way there. Well, that's a milestone worth noting. A little bit over actually, 26.48 miles, so that's a marathon. 4 hours 38 minutes in, with an average pace of 10 minutes 30 per mile. So we're a quarter of the way there. Starting to feel that I'm going to have to start letting the pace drop now, which is as expected. We wanted to make hay whilst the sun was shining and get ahead of the schedule. I can start having a few slightly easier miles now. Oh, and look, big tank. Right, 30 miles in. A few things starting to niggle just a little bit. Backing off now to a sort of walk-run strategy, particularly the hills. But certainly finding that if I do walk the hills, I can still pick up a pretty good sort of 9 or 10 minute mile on the flats and down the hills. So still managing a fairly decent pace overall. But yeah, just starting to edge into a slightly different strategy now as we approach the middle third. Banana! Ooh. Ooh. Right, I'm in Wigston now, which is just south of Leicester. Little beep's just gone off. That's 35 miles. So assuming that my calculations of 105 miles are correct, I'm 1/3 of the way there. So, and I've done that in 6 hours 17 minutes, so a bit over a quarter of the time allowed. So what have I got in the bank now? An hour and 44 in the bank. So the plan has always been to change tack a little bit at this point. I've averaged a 10-minute 46 mile. I wanted to do somewhere between a 10 and 11, a bit closer to 11 than I'd have liked. But now the target for this next third is to get to the end of the next third having averaged a 12-minute mile. And that should leave me pretty comfortable for the last third, where I'll be mullered. Next checkpoint a mile away. Okay, another milestone. I am 40 miles in now, and actually feeling pretty good. I seem to have hung on to that 11-minute mile, so plenty of headroom for the next section. Starting to feel a bit sore in a few places, which is to be expected, but nothing that doesn't feel manageable given how far I've got to go and the pace I've put in. So I am about 12 miles away from the halfway mark, and from there the maths all change and it's all a countdown. Hi kids, hi mummy. That dropped you a message before you all go to bed. I am nearly 42 miles in. It's going okay. I'm starting to feel a bit battered now, but I think I've put enough investment in to protect the rest of it, and I've still got some in the bank, so yeah, I think it's going well. I will see you tomorrow night. Love you all. Bye. Banana! Right, just been through checkpoint summit. I ditched my hat a while ago, my buff, to do my head in. What can I tell you? Nearly 43 miles now. Just had a cracking message from the kids and Jude, so lovely to hear from you. Feeling pretty positive at the moment, which is good. Yeah, just anyway, just had some cracking soup as well from my dad. Absolutely what the doctor ordered. Just working my way out of Leicester. I'm feeling a bit flat, sort of emotions going up and down. I think I'll do it, but it's just a bit a bit dull at the moment. Not only my flat, but the scenery is as well. Yeah, looking forward to something a bit more engaging, but yeah, not enjoying this bit, to be honest with you, but hopefully there's a checkpoint a couple of miles away and some friendly faces. Home of the vegetarians. Welcome to Loughborough, boys and girls. Just shy of 50 miles in, feeling good. 11 minutes 22 per mile so far. So that will snip a little bit. But if I get to 66 miles, which is slightly longer than that, actually, up 70 miles, which is the 2/3 of the way mark, and if I'm still somewhere between 11 and 12 minutes per mile, then I'm pretty confident I've smashed it. Excuse me. Well, there's a milestone. I am 52.5 miles in, which is more or less the halfway point. It's just slightly under, actually. And I am 9 hours and 58 minutes in. So that is 2 marathons back to back, both at a pace of about 5 hours. So I've got to be pleased with that. I'm going to celebrate with a little walk for a bit and start thinking about the goodies at the next checkpoint. Right, 55 miles in. Feeling a little flat and demoralised at the moment. Sun's gone down, head torch is out. The good news is that this means the temperature's dropped and it's quite cool and fresh now, which is nice. I have to make sure I don't get too cold. Downside of the head torch is that all the flipping bugs come out this time of year. So buff on, because I don't really want to eat any. There they are, looming in the darkness. Floodlights on, full factory support. There they are, Team Graham. We're Mr. Partridge, let's go and nick some traffic cones. Very gloomy, but that is Ratcliffe Power Station in the background. Another mile marker, 60 miles in 11 hours 40 minutes. Pace is dropping off a little bit more than perhaps I'd have liked at this point, but yeah, I think we're still good. It's just not going to be quite as easy over the last third of it as I'd hoped, but yeah, we should do it. This is ridiculous. Oh, there is a footpath underneath here somewhere. Oh. Right, well, you can't really see me, but we are 68 miles in. We're knocking on the door of being 2/3 of the way there. We're into the final third now. We did a quick bit of maths back at the last checkpoint and worked out that I've got a little over 10 hours, so 10.5 hours in which to do the best part of, so call it 40 miles, worst case scenario. So that's a 15-minute mile. So yeah, I think we're going to do this. There's no doubt about that, but my feet are sore right now. And about the only thing I can stomach is flat coke. But apart from that, everything's perfect. What you're looking at here is possibly the most well-kept public footpath in the world. Right, 73.5 miles in. I've managed to add about 1.5 miles over the course of that onto what we thought the scheduled distances would be. I'm just trotting down this hill, and up ahead in the distance, that is Denby, home of the famous pottery. Really quite industrial looking. Well, that's great. It's about 3:30 in the morning. The sun is just starting to show itself. Sky's turning light, and the birds are singing the dawn chorus. So sun will be up soon. That'll be a game changer. Take this damn torch off my head. That is a great windmill. It's the Hege windmill. Quite impressive. The morning haze, the mist settling in the valley. Another cause for celebration. The sun is, well, not really up, but it's properly light now. I've finally binned the head torch at the next checkpoint. And I've just completed my 3rd marathon. And we are on 16 hours 23 minutes. It's a little bit tight at the end, tighter than I'd hoped, but I think we've got this. One more marathon to do. Right, another momentous occasion. I've just passed 82 miles, so every step now is the furthest I've ever been, and it's quite a nice place to be as well. By the canal, couldn't get much flatter than this, and still churning out a steady 10 or 11 minute mile. It's 6:30. My alarm to tell me to wake up has just gone off, so here I am wide awake but feeling pretty wired. I'm just walking at the moment. Every time I try to run it's just not happening. I did some rough calculations that at the moment I think I just need to maintain like a 17 or 18 minute mile, which is doable just walking as well, so I'm going to take the opportunity to take on food, energy drinks and so on, and see if I start to perk up again, but I'm not going to break myself. All I've got to do is finish now, and I'm pretty sure it's in the bag, but another 15, 16, 17 miles to go, and I'm a bit bored now. Chatsworth boys and girls, we're in home territory now. Wow, what a pleasant day for a walk. Just wandering through Chatsworth, very pretty. Praise God for the Royal Horticultural Society are having their show here, because there is an absolute multitude of portaloos. I think I just filled one, so apologies to the RHS. I'm 95 miles in, so getting very close to another key milestone, which is 100 miles. I think doing a bit of mental arithmetic, I've now got it to a 20-minute mile that I've got to sustain to make it within the 24 hours, and I think that's eminently doable. So I'm going to try and enjoy the walk, but my feet are killing me. See you in a bit. The long and winding road that ever leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. Lead me to your door. You should hear my wife sing, she's a lot better than I am. Now this looks fun. Like a medieval revolving door. To the last 10 miles now. Yeah, 10 miles to go, so I've got about 3.5 hours left, just a smidge under, 3 hours 25. That still puts me on having to do a 21-minute mile for the last 10 miles. So hopefully that shouldn't be a problem. Listen to that. Lovely. Very peaceful here by the river. I'm going to follow the river now, nice and level. I've got one more checkpoint to go, which is checkpoint 17, which is sort of more of the same, and then it's a short leg to the finish, and it's dead flat as well. So sprint finish. And normally I'd really enjoy running down stuff like this. Today, after 99 miles, not so much. This is a momentous occasion, most momentous one today, I think, apart from perhaps hopefully finishing. There's the beep. That is 100 miles. That's it. I think I can really call myself an ultra runner now. So why is it every time I walk past a sheep, they look me in the eye and urinate? Well, that's it. Got the last 5 miles to go. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rather unspectacular walk to the finish. My feet are mullered every time I try to trot. Bad things happen. But I've got 2 hours, so that is plenty of time to walk 5 miles. I would walk 5 miles. I would walk no more. just to be the one, along with several other nutters, to fall down in Hope Valley. We have arrived in Hathersage, very familiar territory now, a mile to the next checkpoint, and from there it's basically a park run to the finish, so feeling pretty good. I've got to do an average of a 25-minute mile now, so yeah, absolutely in the bag provided I don't fall under a car. That's it, last checkpoint done. I've got 2.8 miles, less than a park run. I've got an hour and 20 minutes to do it. A very familiar story, as with the Wanner. It's just cruising to the finish now. Try and save a bit of energy, but maybe have a little sprint at the end. Pretty much sums it up at the moment. A very familiar sight, those 30 limit signs. I've been thinking about those for the last 106 miles. Very pleased to see these.